Hi everyone. So something that's preys on my mind often in regards to HEMA tournaments, HEMA competitions. I should start by saying that I've been involved with HEMA since about 1997, and I've taken part in lots of competitions myself. I'm an instructor, I'm an interpreter, translator and so on, but I also strongly believe in competing as well, because I believe it's an important part of HEMA's development, and therefore I kind of believe in putting my money where my mouth is, and if I'm going to teach people how to compete, I believe that I should have the competition experience myself. And prior to HEMA I did some sport fencing and other things as well. So I think that I've got a fair amount of competition experience, not the most by any means, but I've won a few things, and I've ranked fairly well in a few competitions over the years, and I think that I can speak from a point of both being an instructor but also being a competitor. And added to that, I also run competitions as well. As many of you will know, I run an annual event, Fight Camp, which has a number of tournaments at it, and I've also helped judge and run tournaments at other events around the world as well. And something that sometimes concerns me is that in some times and places there seems to be a settling of rule sets into a type of fighting which I personally don't appreciate very much. And to use a term that's been used on the internet quite a bit, which is slugfest. Okay, and some of you will instantly know what I'm talking about. So this is not targeted at any particular competition or any particular event. I know that I'm doing this video just after Swordfish, and I don't want people to think I'm talking about Swordfish specifically, because I'm not. These are comments based on both being at events myself for many years, from judging tournaments and helping run tournaments, and also from watching videos of tournaments on YouTube and elsewhere online. And I have a concern that in HEMA there seems to be quite a strong liking for slugfest tournaments as I see them. And the problem I have with this is that we're trying to reconstruct historical European martial arts. In this case I'm talking about with swords primarily. Okay? And there are certain competitions which, to my eyes, have devolved into essentially two people coming into distance and repeatedly going smack, 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 trading blows, bam, 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 whilst getting hit themselves. And in the tournaments that I run and in the fencing in my class, I'm very, very critical, both in our training and competing, of double hits and receiving afterblows. And yet when I look at lots of videos online and some tournaments in the flesh when I'm there, I see so many double blows, double blows and afterblows, double hits and afterblows. And it makes me cry a little bit inside when I see people applauding this, because to me that's really bad fighting. We're talking about sharp weapons here, okay? There's the term, French term, sentiment de fer, which means the sentiment of iron, of steel, and an attitude that comes with the use of sharp weapons. Do we want HEMA fighting, whether it's longsword or sabre or sword and buckler or whatever? Do we want it to devolve into yet another eskrima or yet another kendo? Do we want our art, our historical fencing, to be represented by two people charging at each other like in an épée sport fencing match and repeatedly hitting each other so that the judge can somehow decide that one person's hits were more valid than the other? That's not what I want. And in the tournaments that I run at Fight Camp, I eliminate people from the entire competition for getting 3 double hits in a fight, because I think that people should be avoiding double hits. They should be learning about correct measure and tempo and knowing when it's safe to hit an opponent and how to protect themselves from the afterblow. Okay? To me, avoiding double hits and protecting yourself from the afterblow are two of the most important and fundamental things that make us different to sport fencing, kendo, eskrima, or various other things that are out there. Or frankly, boxing. Okay? We're not boxing with swords. We're not standing there trading blows with sharp weapons, because that's not necessarily what happens with sharp weapons, and we want to avoid that. So I think I've made my point on that, but I want to finish by saying I'm not against that type of competition, because I do accept that there is a lot to be said for a slugfest type competition, and in fact I've competed in slugfest competitions and it's been good fun. It's athletic, it's a bit hardcore, it toughens you up, and it teaches you how to keep fighting in an environment where someone's repeatedly raining down blows on you, and there is something to be said for it. But what I don't want to see is all HEMA tournaments become slugfests, because to me that's not what swordsmanship's about. If you want that, then do kendo or do boxing or something. If you want to learn swordsmanship, then you fundamentally want to know about hitting the other person without being hit yourself. Okay? And that's really the point I want to make. I have no problem at all with some competitions using slugfest rules, or rules that encourage people to be a bit more hit. I have no problem with that, and I have no problem with competing in that myself, and have done. But I don't want all HEMA competitions to end up like that. Please keep the variety of HEMA rule sets, and also consider what a sharp sword and fighting with a sharp sword is really about. Okay, thank you.